see some bruising in her feet. Good girl. There's bruising in her hind hoofs. I can see them. And there's some cracking going on. She could use a trim. But she seems to be moving fine. Unless she wants to eat grass. Very good girl. Super. You are a good girl. Good girl. I did something unexpected. I shifted the whip around without turning my body, and she was immediately, "What the hell are you doing?" Horses are spooky by nature. They spook first and they think later, was that necessary? It's not hard to trigger a horse into a bit of anxiety, even when you're not trying. And I don't shy away from allowing my horse to express anxiety in response to something that I ask. I'm not looking to spook my horses or upset them in any way, shape or form, but when they do show anxiety, I rather work through it rather than immediately stop what I'm doing and avoid any sort of upset, because I can't control all circumstances, and given the nature of horses, they will spook at something. Even the smallest unexpected motion or something that they are not familiar with can cause them to have a spook response. Right, exactly. So for me, it's more important to help them regain their confidence again quickly after a spook. It's never about, can I avoid absolutely every sort of spook or a little bit of anxiety in my horse? No, I can't avoid it. But I can help them build mental, emotional resilience by visiting spooky circumstances or things and noises and movements. Yeah, you're right. That may cause a spook reflex and then help them recover. It's hard to distinguish whether she is rocking her head because of the whip or because of all the flies around her head. What a good girl. Super. Am I consciously and deliberately trying to freak my horse out? No. my whole energy says, has nothing to do with you. And then I affirm, you are correct by staying calm. You are correct. And this string, no matter how busy, no matter how noisy, no matter where it touches you, is benign, and you should just ignore it. So these kind of exercises are often called desensitization, because what you're teaching your horse is a wider range of noises and movements that they learn to be okay with. I rather see it as a tuning or sensitization of her to my intention behind whatever it is I am doing. And if my intention is just ignore it, has nothing to do with you, I'm just making noise, so what? Then that is what I would like her to be sensitive to, rather than saying, I want you to get super dull on this kind of whatever exercise. I don't want my horse to get dull. I want my horse to be responsive and understand my intention and read my energy as her leader and know that whatever I do with her is fundamentally benign. Good girl. Good girl. Super. What a good girl. What a good girl. Super. You are a good girl. And then when my intention is to move her, let's say a backup, then that same whip elicits a different response because she is now sensitized to my intention rather than desensitized to the whip. I still want to be able to ask things from her with the whip. I don't want her to get dull on the whip. I want her to be in tune with my intention behind the whip. Like, go out on a circle. Good girl. And then when my intent with the whip is again, ignore. Just be with it. Good girl. She's doing most excellent. Yes, you are. But she didn't come out of the box this way. This was a process of building trust, building communication, and sheer repetition. Until we had a fairly good understanding of one another. And even then, sometimes it totally goes south, and all of a sudden she loses her shit. The last time that we were here, she was full of beans and got into some anxious energy at times. But today, she seems just fine. Good girl.